Oh man, I even have a candle lit and y'all can't even see. God, I'm such a fake beauty guru. Hello everybody and welcome back to another adventure in beautifying. My name's Amanda and today I have officially lived in New York for a year. Yes, it was literally, I'm filming it the day before, but literally this day last year I was internally freaking out. All of my stuff was in boxes and I was uprooting my life and moving to the city that I always wanted to live in. I'm from New Jersey originally, if you didn't know, so New York was my closest metropolitan city thing, and I have always wanted to live here. I would come here, you know, as a kid, through high school, and it just, every time I came here, it felt more and more like home. My parents are originally from Staten Island, which, like, no judgment if you, like, know what Staten Island is, save it. Kidding. But they're from Staten Island, and so I felt very culturally New York. Recognize that I am not a New Yorker, but I grew up around a lot of New Yorkers, and I always just kind of felt that I needed to be here at some point in my life. So in the year that I have been here, there have been a lot of kooky, crazy times. I have lived in this city in the year that I've physically lived here, and I have learned a lot. And so I want to pass my knowledge, my first year knowledge, along to all of you guys out there who are looking to maybe move to New York. Big disclaimer, I was able to move to New York very circumstantially. My cousin was looking for a person to sublet her roommate's room, and I was able to do that. So I didn't really have to go through an apartment search my first time moving here. I just kind of jumped in to the pool, and I kind of already had a little semblance of a community once I got here. I'm only now experiencing trying to find a tribe in some way. Not that I've lost the people that I moved here with, but I'm only now trying to find out how to make friends as an adult, so if you have questions on that, so do I. So I would not really be the best person to answer those. But I do have some tips and tricks on like what to do before you move and during your move and a little bit after your move. So if you want to see that, keep on watching. Also, if you want any more New York videos like this video, so I know that you like that stuff. Okay, so I have in my bullet journal, got some notes, lots of notes written down, and we're just gonna go for it, kids. This is gonna sound stupid and like a very obvious point, but come here with money because you're gonna need it. If you plan on coming to New York and signing a lease, you're gonna need a lot of money up front before you do that, even if you're just looking at a literal shithole. Most of the time, you're gonna need first and last month's rent, a security deposit, and you're most likely going to be going through a broker, so you're going to have to pay a broker's fee. Now sometimes you don't have all of those charges, but a lot of the times you do, and that accrues to roughly in the family of $3,500 to $5,000, which literally sounds terrible. Why do I live here? And even if you don't plan on signing a lease once you get to Manhattan, you are gonna need a security blanket when you arrive here. You never know what you're gonna need. I would even say this, like, as far as moving out in general, like, you're never gonna know what's gonna happen. Like, your car could break down, or, you know, one day you walk into work and then all of a sudden you don't have a job, and then you go cry in a bar and sing show tunes by yourself. It's fine. So essentially, you're never gonna know when you're gonna need a safety blanket, but you're gonna love having it when it's there. So I personally had $5,000 saved up before I moved out of my apartment. I kept most of that until I was laid off from my job, and then I used some of my savings during the time where I was looking for new employment. But even just like depending on what your situation, you might need to get like a shit ton of furniture. So it's nice to have money put aside for moving costs or for, you know, just like emergency living costs. So money, have some of it. My second tip is, before you just go ahead and blindly move to New York, especially if you have not been here before, plan a trip to visit and really experience a bunch of different parts of the city. You can do online research till the cows come home, but there's nothing like actually walking around in an area to actually know the feel. Like, you can look up like what is the most like cost efficient area to live in Manhattan, and you can get your answer, but just because it's cost efficient doesn't mean it's necessarily the area you want to live in. There are lots of different cost efficient places in and around the actual island of Manhattan that you might like better. So do your research, Google the shit out of things, but also come here and walk around and try the local deli and see if you vibe in an area. My third tip, I know I just discussed like the prospect of you signing a lease when you first moved here. My tip is actually to not do that. Especially if you don't have a ton of money saved up, the most cost efficient way to move to Manhattan is by finding a sublet. I was lucky, as I said before, I kind of stumbled into my sublet situation and I ended up living with my cousin and it was great. But the great thing about sublets is they allow you the freedom to kind of roam without the attachment of a lease. So if you find that you really can't come up here and visit an area and really explore it and you just like have to move, find like the 3-month sublet, see how you like that area, and then if you want to stay in that area, you know that you like that area. Or if you come here and you're subletting and you know, you're in New York and you find an area that you actually like a lot better, you can, you know, make that your next apartment move. And it'll also give you time to save up money for when you do actually want to like put pen to paper and sign a lease. It's been the most amazing thing that I've ever done. I feel like it was a smart move on my part. So I want to pass that tip off to you guys because I feel like you might benefit from it. My fourth tip, when you're packing, start purging your belongings, because honestly in this city, like, there is no room for shit. Like, your room could very well be a renovated ass closet. You're not moving to New York for the real estate value for your dollar. Like, it's just not happening. You're moving to New York because you have a dream of living here. And when you first get here, you're gonna have to make a lot of sacrifices, and one of those is space. So when you're packing, Marie Kondo the shit out of your belongings and just get rid of stuff that is bulky or not necessary or stuff you haven't worn in forever. Just purge your belongings. You will be happier for it. If you need inspiration, my last video, I cleaned up my entire closet. I plan on doing more cleaning out videos in the near future. I have a whole wall of makeup, then like half of it I do not use. So purge your belongings. Kind of going off of that, my fifth tip is don't forget why you moved here. There are so many shitty parts about New York. And to be honest, there are so many shitty parts about living anywhere. You can find bad stuff about anywhere if you tried. It's just that a lot about New York is a little bit inconvenient. You can't just jump into your car and like run to Target and like get toothpaste. Like, sometimes you have to like jump on a subway and then take a bus and then walk like 10 blocks to like get to a place that you need to go, and it's very tiring. The city can be exhausting. There are so many things about the city that don't make sense, like how people just like pee right in front of you and you go, why is this happening to me? Or, you know, one day, like, I mean, my cousin straight up got hit by a cab. Like, straight up got hit by a taxi. And this isn't meant to scare you. It's just, you need to know what you're walking into, because the city can eat people alive. Remember why you came here. Have a reason for why you want to be here. And also know that you can leave at any time. Like, you're not attached to here. Everybody's here for a reason, for a bigger purpose. So wake up every day and be thankful for where you are, and your whole experience will be better here. Okay, a tip for once you're here. Leave your goddamn apartment. Explore your area, explore other areas. Go out dancing to a place in Bushwick. Like, just go everywhere. Make it a point to leave your apartment once a day. This is advice that I should take because sometimes I do like to stay inside. And sometimes you need those days. I'm not saying that the city I just said is exhausting. So some days you need a little bit of a recharge. But don't forget where you are. There are so many things happening all at the same time. And if you don't leave your apartment, you might be missing out on like seeing something amazing. So try and get out as much as you can. The best experiences that I have had in this city are the nights where we like didn't know what we were walking into, and then it was amazing. So yeah, get the fuck out of your apartment. Best tip in the entire world. When you're on the subway, put on your don't talk to me face. Have sunglasses, have headphones, look at your phone, look at a book, look anywhere other than than your actual surroundings. There are going to be people in this city who want to take advantage of you. For money, for whatever. Keep your head down. Don't bother with the panhandlers. Just, I don't know how to phrase this without sounding like a dick. Because I literally just told you to like go outside and like explore the world. Like, you never know what you'll find. But at the same time, I'm like, don't talk to any strangers ever. You don't want to end up in that conversation with that person on the subway who just wants your money, you know what I mean? Like, that's like not how you want to spend your Thursday afternoon, just like trying to leave work, you know? So in certain situations, just like get in the zone, you know? Next tip, I've lost count entirely. You will feel exceptionally lonely at some points while you're here. You're surrounded by 8 million other people all the time. But while that's happening, if you don't have a community, so especially like if you just moved here, it can feel so lonely and isolating. Know that everybody else is feeling that or has felt that way at some point, especially in New York. You are not the only person like just trying to make it through and like make a friend. You are not the only person trying to do that. Open yourself up to new people and new experiences, and this city will repay you. So those are all of the main tips I have about moving to New York. If you have any specific questions, I would love to answer them in the comments section down below. If I get enough of them, I'll probably, most likely, definitely, make a part 2 of this video. There are so many things that I am still learning because I've only been here a year. So if you've been here longer, let me know if I'm like getting shit wrong or if there's something you would want to throw in. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm excited for your upcoming move. If you need any suggestions for coffee places, let me know in those comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.